Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wyld. Today we are talking about, you definitely got my attention. Small business owner says you should stop driving for Uber and DoorDash and start your own LLC. So one of the things I constantly preach is that the gig economy is an income bridge to what would be a long-term goal, not the goal, and to diversify your gig portfolio as much as possible. This person goes into a little bit of the detail of how to actually do that, and he went viral doing so. Not too much detail, but enough detail to get your juices flowing, you know what I'm talking about? So with that said, I want to go over everything that is being said in this article, how it actually is for DoorDash, UberEats, and Grubhub drivers, and people who are wanting to take more of an entrepreneurial path, and everything in between. But before we do that, let's go over a quick disclaimer. The content of this video does not contain, is never intended to be legal, business, financial, tax, or health advice of any kind. This video is for entertainment purposes only. It is advised that you conduct your own research, consult with qualified professionals before applying anything you find online. I also want to be clear that everything that we're going to be going over in this article and in this video is very market dependent, and what applies to me in my market may not apply to you. So with that said, let's get started. A small business owner went viral after urging viewers not to drive for Uber and DoorDash. TikToker at Truckingsuccesspro garnered over 962,000 views when he advised people stuck in a ride-sharing rut or to try a field that's less stressful than delivering food or driving people around. Things you do for content, huh? I'm going to leave his TikTok as well as his profile in the description so you can develop your own opinions on the subject.
Medical courier. They're making a killing. You'll make more money with less effort.
Medical couriers transport things like medical supplies, equipment, specimens, and records between healthcare facilities, laboratories, and patients, according to Zippia. I've heard a lot about people making a lot of money as a medical courier, and I'm 92% sure that you need a couple of certifications on the subject, but it's not really expensive to do, so definitely keep that in mind. Though the job sounds less stressful than Ubering or DoorDashing, there are some catches. First, you'll have to set up a business.
You're going to need to be an LLC, something like that. Get set up, get a tax identification number, and then you're going to need to get a bank account.
I definitely want to go deeper into the concept of how to get all that back end stuff going, because I actually went S Corp, and I've been pretty happy with that because of all of the things I know that I need to do for my business, not just as a courier, not just as a independent contractor for DoorDash, UberEats, and Grubhub, but for as a YouTuber and someone setting up an online business, which in my opinion is actually vital for you to actually profit in these organizations with this opportunity. The TikToker lists 3 websites to visit to search for routes: couriergigs.com, dropoff.com, and diligentusa.com. But there's a second step if you want to get lucrative routes, he argued. The TikToker shared that medical courier drivers need to get certifications. That'll help you high-paying loads. Like I said, in order to really maximize your opportunities to make money as a medical courier, you're going to need a couple of certifications. I don't think it's very expensive to actually get it, and I don't think it's that hard. You don't need to be like a rocket scientist or had gone to college or anything like that, but you will have to go online and get that set up for yourself. Specifically, the TikToker suggested the blood-borne pathogen certification.
You can get it for as little as $9.99. You don't have to be highly intelligent. Look, if I did it, anybody can do it. Trust me.
Listen, I'm not the brightest knife in the crayon box, but $10 to get better paying orders definitely seems like an opportunity to me.
I'll make that deal. How about you, bitch? You make that deal?
I'd make that deal.
I don't blame you. Damn good deal.
Another benefit of being a medical courier is that drivers can use their own cars.
You don't have to have a Sprinter van, cargo van, any of that. You can do it right out of your own personal car.
Yeah, a lot of people that I've been noticing online have been promoting the concept of getting a cargo van, and I'm not necessarily against that, especially if you want to go the route path, you know, instead of taking single deliveries, you go routes. I get that, but at the same time, you don't necessarily need to do that. That's not a necessity. Could you? Absolutely. Should you? Maybe. That depends on your own goals and values, but for me, I didn't do that and not planning to, at least not in the near future. However, there is another condition that needs to be met before someone can become a medical courier.
You're going to have to get commercial insurance. If you get in an accident, you're going to be in a world of trouble. If it's found out that you were doing courier work out of your car, it's going to be a little bit more, but it'll be worth it with the amount of money that you're making.
On average, commercial auto insurance costs about $17.62 per year, according to data from Insuron. But that also said, that's not that much more than normal insurance. The commenters who worked as a medical courier agreed with the TikToker's advice. I do it, one said. He's telling the truth that we just pick up and drop off and get paid weekly. Money is very good. So it's literally the exact same work we've already been doing, plus more if you actually get your certifications in commercial insurance. Which, by the way, if you're complaining about the cost right now, this is a business. That is a very big difference between a business mindset and an employee mindset. An employee mindset is like,
I have to pay money in order to get the certification.
And a business owner is gonna go,
okay, how quickly can I get my ROI for this? How many routes is it gonna take for me to cover the cost of that? Is this gonna affect my ROT at all?
You see, they're asking questions about how to actually make the most amount of money in the least amount of time in the safest possible way, even if it costs them a little bit more upfront initially. And if it's gonna make them more money at the end of the day, yeah, it's awesome. Why wouldn't you do that? I have a secretarial service I've had for 33 years, and I have a couple of customers that do medical carrier. You are 100% right. The money they make is almost obscene. I did all their invoices and emailed them, and others agreed. I'm not gonna lie, I have genuinely considered it, and I am genuinely considering it. It's one of the things that I'm looking into right now. That's why I'm trying to get all of this back-end stuff for the channel up, so that way everything's just kind of auto flow, and I could focus on that while making more with that, and then bring it back here to talk about it more. It's a great opportunity, and people should jump on it while they can. Others pointed out that commercial insurance and location affected whether or not being a medical courier was worth it. Okay, commercial insurance we just went over, but location, yes, location. That is a vital aspect to this. I think down here in South Florida, I think it's almost irresponsible to not be a medical courier out here, especially with all the people being older than God, I'm just saying. But let's say this was bumblefuck nowhere in Nebraska or something. Yeah, I definitely see it being a little bit more challenging out there. Or let's say a little bit less extreme than that, just an overall smaller market. Everything is going to be location dependent. It just depends on what's available near you. You gotta take your own personal location into account here. Commercial insurance is like 4x expensive. Most people don't realize they have a great deal on personal auto already with their sketchy credit and driving records, a user said. I just went over this. Actually speaking, I haven't gotten a quote for commercial auto insurance, but I know that Progressive does offer it, and it would be quoted cheaper than what my current rate is. Again, that may just be something you found online. I found that quote was posted on December 22nd, 2023. This video is posted on January 3rd, 2024. That may be outdated information, but not by much. It sounds like a hate comment to me. Sounds great and all, but I just searched up jobs here in Las Vegas. They only paying maximum $20 an hour. My bro-in-law make $40 an hour and up when there surges during Uber spike times. A second added. Well, first off, the way you make money with a route is very different with how you make money on Uber or DoorDash. When you accept a medical courier route or accept a package delivery route, the name of the game is getting the route done as quickly as possible. Not necessarily waiting for orders to come up, whether they're good or not, and trying to take the better orders from there. Although I do think that what he's bringing up now is very important. Location. And some apps are going to be better in some areas rather than others, but that's up to you. There are downsides to this career path, according to the Houston Chronicle. There are reportedly extended periods without work, and being a medical courier does not guarantee steady work. Couriers also reported undergo pressure to meet performance expectations. Approximately 74% of couriers have reported experiencing time pressure when making deliveries. Every courier has experienced time pressure. There is literally less than no couriers that actually don't own experience that, actually speaking. And in terms of not getting steady work, sounds like every other gig right now. That's why you have a diversified gig portfolio, not just a few gigs that work. You know what I'm talking about? Like DoorDash, UberEats, Grubhub, great for food delivery. Veho, Amazon Flex, On Track, great for package delivery, catering delivery, got deliver that, Bolt. And with medical courier, we were just talking about that, Courier gigs, Drop Off, and Diligent USA. It's important that you find ways to maximize the value in all of your opportunities as possible, so that way you never are super dependent on any one opportunity. However, couriers reportedly make an approximate income of $34,270 annually from deliveries alone, which is more than most minimum wage employees make. That actually sounds like a pretty low amount. I actually would say that is a very part-time gig worker right there. I don't even think that's a very accurate statement. Although there are cons to working as a courier driver, working as an Uber or DoorDash driver comes with its own challenges. These include unruly passengers, companies taking the bulk of surge profits, and low pay. Every gig has its downsides. It's irresponsible to think any gig has zero downsides. That's just factually accurate. So that's not even an argument. And with DoorDash and Uber Eats, you actually make more with tips than you do with the actual pay. So it's an apples to oranges argument. This is my opinion. It's worth what you pay for it. None of you pay me. There you go. While I don't necessarily disagree with everything he's saying, there is one thing I will say that I do need to point out. He's saying stop driving for Uber Eats and DoorDash. I'm saying have a diversified gig portfolio in the event that medical couriers aren't making as much or food delivery is just not active. Have other opportunities available to you so that way the cash flow keeps coming, and have an exit strategy so you're not super dependent on work continuously coming in. The gig economy is an income bridge to what would be a long-term goal, not the goal. And an important aspect of that is to make sure you're finding ways to make your income more passive in nature. For me, the passive aspects is YouTube. I'm going to be getting the website up soon. I might get into podcasting. I don't know. But the point is that my income is not super dependent on DoorDash and Uber Eats anymore, although it is a large aspect of my income. It is by no means the only aspect of my income. And another point is that he's saying get into other verticals, not just food delivery. Go into medical courier, go into catering delivery, which is not just the same as food delivery, package delivery, what have you. Make sure you're finding ways to capitalize on the opportunities you have available.
But then I have to pay for certifications and commercial auto insurance and blah, blah, blah.
You are in business for yourself. Start acting like it. Don't be afraid to invest in your own future, because that way you can actually make the most amount of money in the least amount of time in the safest possible way without having to deal with customers that wouldn't treat you right anyway. All in all, just do yourself a favor. Make sure that you're doing what you have to for your own financial future, and you're not worrying about one app feeding you well. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.